So in this food processor, we have 1 cup of unbleached all-purpose flour and a cup of what the Italians would call dopo zero, 00 flour. You can find that flour in food catalogs, or you can find it in your grocery store. So we have the 2 cups of the flour and just a pinch of salt. So far, so good, right, Laura?
That's right.
All right, why don't you crack an egg, because
Sure.
we're making this Ligurian style, and you were telling me and also saying in the book that when Ligurians make pasta, they tend to be a little bit more economical than maybe other regions of Italy.
Right, that's absolutely right. So traditionally, Ligurians would use very few eggs and have a lighter pasta. Some people say it was frugality, or you might say that it just makes a lighter taste and lets the other flavors come through. Take your choice. But they do that. Whoops, here we go. Are you ready to have it go in?
Well, I thought
you want to put the olive straight in? Okay.
So Laura was nice enough to bring me some Ligurian olive oil because we're making this really classic. So you want about 2 teaspoons, you said, to start?
Yeah, that's good.
So we have 1 egg and 2 teaspoons of the Ligurian olive oil. And you also said
A crazy thing.
a little bit of white wine.
Yes,
So
it's
we
a
could
crazy
use just
thing.
a dry white wine?
Yeah, and it's really in place of water.
Okay, so I'm not going to put too much in there because I don't know how much
Let's see how we go.
this liquid is going to take of the flour. So why don't we just see, and then we can always correct this. So if you're doing this in a food processor, this is really easy. Or you could do this in a bowl, right? Or
Absolutely.
you could do it in the fontana. So we're going to add this egg and wine mixture, and we may need to add more wine. So when you see it coming around the blade, and that's much better, and also when you do this, you eliminate a lot of the kneading by hand because the machine is really working the gluten. That's all there is to it. How's that feel?
It feels nice and soft.
Nice and soft,
Very
and
nice.
we want to let that relax. So, before you came over,
Yes.
got a dough ready.
How convenient.
So this needs to relax for about 30 minutes. My grandmother always used to say that the dough had to sleep.
Aw.
Isn't that sweet? So we're going to put this off to the side, and we're going to work with our rested dough. You see it's a little darker in color, and when I can just do that with my fingers, and those indentations don't bounce back.
It doesn't snap back at
It's
you. That's
ready.
what you want.
And you know, of course, years ago, everything was done on mano. But we live in the modern age, and we're busy ladies, aren't we?
Yes.
We write books, we cook, we travel, we do all that stuff. So sometimes a little machine is a big help.
It makes a big difference
So
as
this
to
is-
whether or not you're going to do it or not.
All right, so
Yeah.
this is La Macchina. What do you think? Is that thin enough? You can see your
Yes,
hand?
that looks beautiful.
All right, so this is what we want.
Like a piece of fabric.
Yeah, like a beautiful piece of fabric. And I think we're going to have to cut this in half.
Yeah, it's getting big.
I'm going to be in the dining room soon because this is a long sheet of pasta.
This is a piece of theater.
Now, we could make the courgetti ahead of time, and we need to dry them. Isn't that right?
Yes, you can dry them. Exactly. You have to dry them, or sometimes I put them straight in the freezer if I know I'm not going to use them for a while.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow. We have a drape. Woo! I thought we were going to Hoboken for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is move that pasta machine, and why don't we cut that?
Yeah.
Because we can't work with this
No,
huge sheet.
no.
So that's very thin.
Very thin, very delicate.
So when you make these, you should make them ahead, and you should let them dry some before you cook them, right?
Yes, if I'm going to eat them that day, I want them to dry for at least a half an hour.
Okay.